It will be done.
Ah. Okay, get the key. See what's happened with the leader. Slave rebellion leader. Okay, he gave 100,000. Holy shit. For the book that repairs the rope bridge. Yeah, we're about 100,000 away from level up now. Did not expect to get that much experience. Okay, we're just gonna go in there and bluff to be their friend. That should work.
Understood.
$60,000 gain. 45 for level up. The moment I give the key to the slaves, there's a level up pretty much. If I come back up here after that, it's a fight. I'm not sure if I should try to collect them all together, because the game engine starts to shit itself after you have so many people moving around at the same time. At the same time, it would be very easy for me to take care of them all at the same time. There's ice trolls and salamanders, there's no real snow trolls. So they would die by simply, if I can get enough damage to go to them. There's the room here that they can't enter. This is what we don't want to use. We would like to locate them in an area where they can all move around, so I can target more creatures that way. Where's their leader? I need to talk with her. Hmm. Right, we'll deliver the key, fight the Frost Sun's witches, and he thinks that. Let's go to the bridge next. It's not that bad of a fight, I think it's probably easier than this one. That's a lot of fighting though. Oops!
Anytime.
Contingency triggered. A huge amount of damage. I'm getting massive bonus damages too. Okay, that's bad, but are they following me? I have to load if they are. It's level. I'm not gonna be leveling up now. I just want to. Well, I am, but I'm not gonna rest to get the extra spells, 8th level spells. I'm not going to take the Fiend now because I'm still gathering up experience, and I can't get any experience from anything that the Fiend kills. So, what exactly are we? Ooh, here's Shield. Yeah, this does not. This is not like the Breach spell at all. This is for magical shields. There are some symbol spells. Abidalzim's Horrid Wilting, always nice. Water-dwelling creatures are instantly destroyed if they fail save. Simulacrum is a good one. You get something that has 50% of your levels too that you can basically control. That's a lot of extra casting power you can throw around. I'm not particularly interested in it. I mean, you can do it, and I don't see any reason why you shouldn't. But it goes sort of against the fact that you're playing solo. You're more or less just buying party members. Although you could say the same thing about summoned creatures. But this is something that it's basically you, an earlier level you. At maximum, we'll get a 15th level sorcerer. That's a lot of casting power we can bombard. So there's nothing wrong with using it, but I would like to avoid it if I can. Mind Blank might be nice. Lasts for 24 hours. In the interest of one's self-control and privacy, Mind Blank shields a creature's mind from almost any mental effect. Charm, maze, feeble mind, confusion, fear, intoxication, berserk, hold, and petrification. And the duration is 24 hours, so it'll basically never run out. And mental effects are basically instant death for me. I have clarity potions, but they don't have offer this wide protection. I'm not taking this now. I want attack spells. There's basically Abidalzim's Horrid Wilting or Incendiary Cloud. Billowing Cloud of Roaring Flame. Any creature, any in the area of the spell must leave the cloud immediately or suffer 1d4 points of fire damage per level of caster each round while the effects of the area. Okay, that's basically level 30. 30d4 points of fire damage each round for 10 rounds. That's a massive amount of damage. That's an insane amount of damage. The best part is I can become immune to fire anyway. So we could just basically hunker down and wait for the enemies to take up to 1000 points of damage. Yeah, that seems like a nice thing to have. I'll take it. We don't have this type of gas attack at all at the moment, so it would also be again another different type of attack. Some of the simple spells would be nice, but their casting time is ridiculous and they're an instant effect. Well, they're sort of like mines though. Incendiary Cloud. Protection from magical weapons.
It will be done.
Yeah, we're gonna get as many of these bastards as possible to follow me, lure them in a location where I can just blast all of them. Yeah, the simulation is gonna suffer, but who the fuck cares? It's not gonna last long. And as I checked the recording, it doesn't it doesn't really interfere with the recording in the slightest. It's just that the simulation of the game so we literally cannot handle these kind of massive groups of enemies. So it sort of looks like it's a little bit of a lag there, but uh, it's not that bad. And once it starts to happen, I can reduce their number a little bit. They're pretty much all going to take extra damage from fire too, so Incendiary Cloud would have been nice here. I need the main guy to attack. There. Yeah, now we can start collecting them together. And that's looking fairly promising already. I'm not doing the fucking prismatic spray shit with this. It's just fire for you guys. The cold damage fails my spell even though it does no damage. That's horseshit. That is a new level of horseshit. It'll make things more complicated at the very least. It's a Winter Wolf breath weapon that does the interruption. I don't think it's the Salamander cold. Still, I can't use these in optimal situations because I need to get the effect out for the Winter Wolves to breathe on me, right? It's actually fairly good. Last fire attack. I'll try the prismatic spray. Winter Wolves. I hate them so much. It's not really a bad situation for us. I think skull traps will handle this just fine. I need a little bit of fire damage, not much. Just a quick attack so I can leave here.
Come then.
I'll summon a couple of spiders. They should be able to handle anything serious they might be able to throw my way again.
Understood. Ready? Anytime.
Not particularly interested in the gems. We haven't gotten their leader because I don't see his weapon anywhere.
Let's go to work. Very well.
But we must have... He has a spear.
What would you... Very well. I see. Ready? Very well.
Already died. Okay, there has to be this spear somewhere then. I just don't seem to notice it. Although, oh, there it is. Right. Some kind of potion. Right. So that's pretty much a wrap then. $80,000 for telling her. Okay, the quest rewards are quite significant. 130,000, 125,000 actually to get another level up. Every time that you do quests and the plot progresses a little bit, constant, massive injections of experience. Right, we'll probably get another injection by just repairing the bridge. And there are the giants there. which are not troublesome. The big problem is with the giants is that they're very slow, so we can easily manipulate the fight however we wish to.
Very
And we
well.
don't need any kind of a... well, we don't need any kind of anything really against them. Everything we need. Give me a contingency. And we did... well, we did get hit, but I didn't have my protections at that point, so the fireball triggering wasn't unexpected. I'll keep the hit as a triggering condition. If a giant
Very well.
hits you, that's gonna hurt. These are much better for wizards, because you have a much larger variety of spells to rely on.
I see.
What is this? Wormstooth Glacier. Lower Dorn's Deep, museum basement. We came from Lower Dorn Deep, didn't we? No.
Understood.
We came from Dorn's Deep.
Very well.
Lower Dorn's Deep is the path forward. The road bridge is where we have to get one of the badges, but it's something that you can bypass at this
Understood.
stage still.
I shall not fail.
It's sort of surprising that they allow you to get away with that though. We can use the incendiary cloud. No. The incendiary cloud spell is now at half strength. It might still be useful, but it's not super powerful. 60,000 for this. Yeah, I'm what 65,000 away from another level up. They just keep on coming and coming and coming.
Very well.
Yeah, this is an interesting tidbit though. I'm gonna lose step protection immediately. Unless I can get them to
Anytime.
follow me. I attacked them while they were neutral, not got them to attack me as a response to what I did, which means I'm probably hostile to all of them already. Might have other unintended consequences, but I don't particularly care. Might lose a quest as a consequence and mean experience. That's something we can survive. Not a big deal.
Come then. Let's go to work. Anytime. What would you have of me? I see.
Can't be hit by their breath attack. I'm gonna use an invisibility potion to guarantee that I go in there and see what's happening without being interrupted.
Understood.
Is everything hostile? Or just the walls? They're not hostile. And the guards aren't hostile either. A lot of trolls. A lot of trolls that you need to finish up after killing them. Black Ice Knight. I was planning to do something completely different, but what the fuck? Why did I do this? Need to interrupt him. Taking extra damage out of this. Oh, he died. Okay. A little weaker than I expected. Although it's a mage with no real protections on, so what the hell do you expect? They've taken more than less 100 points of damage already, and they're still doing mostly fine. I don't want to go too much higher, because it will just trigger the rest of the shit heals to come after me. I'd like to get rid of these if I can without letting that happen. Right, I think we should, after this, go somewhere to identify our crap. Pure water. First ingredient of the garden. Animals and seeds remain. Right, I was sort of thinking of trying the fire thing. We need a... I probably could use a fire shield raid and a fire resistant potion. Although, I want to test one thing. Do the resistances stack in general? If I use 2 fire resistance potions, am I gonna get 100% fire resistance or not? I would imagine not, but from 2 different sources I would imagine yes. So we have a community scroll. I don't want to use that. Fire shield raid. Would last long enough, give me 50% fire. Okay, this is enough for my testing purpose anyway. Okay, this should be 50% fire resistance. Fire 50, gold 10, magic. What about if I do that again? 100% fire resistance, okay. So they do stack. That'll make things easier. Duration from those, I think, is fairly lengthy too. Right, the goal is now to aggravate everything here and then cast a fire incendiary cloud. They will home in on me, I'm pretty sure, even if I would go invisible. Just want everyone to acknowledge where I am. It's no good place to be, really. It's a long casting time. It's not a huge area they're working on. They still get a significant amount of fire damage from this. Decided to come and dive. Sort of a weirdish spell. A single casting without any resistances would have been good enough if you just situate it properly. And I gotta level up. Right, level 17, nothing new, a little bit of a filling up of the levels. 7 and 8 only. Right, what did we take from the 7th level? I think I did I take a sequencer? No, that was the 6th one, the contingency. I took a fiend from this. And then something else. I don't recall anymore. What did I take? 8th, I took an incendiary cloud. This was it had to be an attack spell, 7th level attack spell. For the life of me, I don't recall. We're not taking summoning spells from this anymore. I wish you could just. I wish it would show the entire available spells and just dim out the ones you've already selected. I mean, that would make sense to me. We could take the sequencer. That's a 3/3 level, or up to up to 3rd level, I think. Or is it 4th? That we can store here. More or less, we would use 3 attack spells to fire them at a single time at a target to basically annihilate it immediately and move on to other things. Yeah, there's nothing really interesting here. I don't give a shit about any of this. The protection from elements in that sense could be useful. It protects against everything. So, not acid though. That sort of sucks. I'm not taking it. It's we can work around this. But the thing is, I don't want any of this. So, finger of death. Did I take disintegration? I don't recall. I don't know. I think I'll take the sequencer. We can trap 3 spells there. But only because I just don't see anything particularly interesting here. Finger of Death would be nice, but also not really mandatory by any means. Spell trigger. No. This up to 3 spells up to level 6 that can, or lower, that can be triggered simultaneously. But no. We have what? We only have the Incendiary Cloud on this level, not the Fiend. I sort of want to take a protection spell. I'm okay with the Incendiary Cloud being our only attack spell here. I like the Mind Blank. 24 hours immunity to basically everything that could fuck you over. All in one spell. All on a level where there aren't a huge amount of great things I want. I mean, the symbols can be nice, no argument there, but this is basically just a defensive answer to so many problems that I can face that it's hard to ignore. Even maze and petrification. The only real problem after this would be beholders, because they have an anti-magic ray that can disable everything, or every magic ability. So excessive amount of offensive spells is required to take them down. I don't think summoned creatures can survive against them either. Anti-magic shell might actually be your best protection, because nothing comes through that. So we could just beat the shit out of them through physical combat. I think I'll take the Mind Blank. It's just so inclusive on the effects and the duration of 24 hours, so I can even rest and rest and rest, and it's still there. So yep, yeah, it's just one of those things that I don't see myself really living without. Protection from energy. 75% immunity against all energy attacks, fire, cold, acid, magic, electricity, whether from magical or non-magical sources, such as weapons, wands, breath weapons. Excludes any physical attack and spell-created weapon. This wouldn't be a bad thing, but again, we can get a lot of these immunities through other means. And damage we can sort of mitigate, handle. We have ways to juggle in that little those issues around. Uh, these are instant death in a serious fight. They're sort of worthless as far as current combat situations are concerned, though. Um, the lower Dorn's Deep will have more of these mushroom creatures, at the very least. They have creatures that are going to berserk me or confuse me without a doubt. There's petrification traps. Yeah, I think I'll take them. So save the slaves. 2-part. Kill the creature, cleanse this pathway so they can escape. Cleansing done. Will interrupt me.
Come then.
I need something that triggers immediately. Nearest and injured. I think there's quite a few of these worms. Frostbite is the only one we have to kill. I'll prep the battlefield a little bit. I'm gonna need some aid here, no doubt about that. And I don't recall how good the wyverns really are. He's the most dangerous one, so if I can get rid of him, things should cool down quickly. Not sure if I can get away with this. I'm still fire protected though. Any more of them? They might have moved around a little bit. I think there should be more of them. Emotion courage twice per day. It's like lyrical stuff mainly. Might actually have to talk to the guards. I need to just see if there are more of these creatures inside. Doesn't appear so. Winter wolves to disrupt our behavior. Shit. I've slain the beast. 420,000! That's a level up on its own. Yeah, 9th level spells. I suppose I could use darts. Right. One 9th level spell. Wish. Do not have wisdom for a wish. Shape change might be an interesting thing. Lasts for an hour. You could Mind Flayer, Iron Golem, Giant Troll, Greater Wolf Wear, Fire Elemental, Earth Elemental, Water Elemental. You can switch between the new forms at will for 1 hour. Basically, you want the specialty thing they have. I don't think you can cast while shape change, so I have no idea if you can. Let's look at potentially useful spells. Absolute immunity is nice. For 4 rounds, you're basically impossible to harm. Not bad. Big Beast Crushing Hand. Lasts for 3 rounds, just a little bit of crushing damage. Don't give a shit. Black Blade of Disaster. You would have to be. This would be great if you were a multi-class character of Fighter Wizard, because it is good weapon, does decent damage, can disintegrate targets, and can lower the levels, heal you all at the same time. But I'm not one of those characters, so ignore. Chain Contingency is great. Chooses 3 spells to be released under certain conditions. And they can be, unlike the 6th level contingency spell, the wizard can set the target to be himself, the last creature that hit him, or the nearest enemy. Spells of 8th level or lower can be used in the contingency, so 3 extra spell castings of 8th level or lower. That's great, so that's the first one I'm interested in. Energy Drain is sort of a... It's hard to see what the effect will be. There's no saving throw against this. You just you're 2 levels lower. But what is the practical consequence of that? I don't know. No effect on undead construct or extraplanar creature. It's not bad, but again, what's the real difference? What exactly? Let's say if I use this on a big bad boss, well, the first boss or the main game boss is an extraplanar creature, so it's unaffected. The dragon would be affected, I guess, maybe. But what exactly would he lose? I have no idea, so I'm not really interested. Freedom is worthless. Gate, so that's 2 spells. We might get 4 if we're level 30. The base demon, longest duration. Can't get experience. Meteor Swarm, I don't think this is particularly good attack spell. Anyone caught in the destructive path of the meteors, whether friend or foe, will suffer 4d10 points of fire damage per round until the spell's duration runs out. The caster is well advised to be careful in the use of this spell, but it lasts 4 rounds, so it's 16d10, except that's not all that great. Also, the casting time is incredibly long. It takes a full round, basically. So, you can kill yourself. The damage isn't anything to write home about, and casting time is long. Area of effect is pretty much like normal fireball. I wouldn't say this is shit, but it's not great either. So pass. We have two interesting spells. Monster Summoning 7, yeah, it's probably better than the Gate, in the sense that I would actually get the experience, but I don't want to go there. So two spells. Forward Kill, no saving throw, 12 feet radius. Kills up to two enemies with 31 to 60 hit points, or a group of enemies with 30 or fewer hit points, up to a maximum of 120 hit points. The hit points checks are done against the creature's current hit points, not their maximum, so it will affect extremely tough creatures that have been wounded. It's almost impossible to say when the enemies are within the effective radius of this spell. It's casting time of 1, so it's basically instantaneous though. So it's an instant death with no saving throw on target. It's good. But if you can basically get enemies to those hit point ranges anyway, and you have 9th level spells still left to cast, you're gonna kill it anyway. This is not gonna make a difference. So pass. Still two spells that I'm interested in, and Ghost of Argod. Shape Change could be interesting if you're, but this is more of a trickery character. Like, we have as a mage the brute strength through our spells to just plow through everything. We don't need to rely on chance-based trickery or that sort of thing to see us through. So while this could be a thing for some characters, you would have to intentionally fuck over your wizard or sorcerer to be something that you have to. So this is something you have to rely on. You're not a good fighter, so you're not going to be a good wolf wearer. You don't have the hit points, you don't have the attack numbers, the chances to hit. So basically, you're just giving up your most powerful abilities. Again, it might work with some things, not the Black Blade of Disaster, but not for us. Spell Trap, best spell defense around, I guess. Limited duration, long casting time. I'm not gonna do it. It protects against a huge amount of spells, though. There's no denying that. Still two spells I'm interested in. Wish is unusable, so what we have is Spell Strike, Time Stop, and Wail of the Banshee. I would be interested in all of them, I think. Couldn't take all of them even if I wanted to. Time Stop is always useful, but I wouldn't consider it necessary by any means. It allows you a couple of rounds to cast extra spells on enemies. So if you would want to absolutely burst a lot of damage, Time Stop will help. But the casting time is very long, so you have to be in a very good position already to be able to cast it. Probably actually re-establish your defenses that you wasted by casting this, and then cast maybe other things, even contingency spells, sequencers. It allows you to burst an insane amount of damage, no doubt about that. So it's something I would really like to have, but I wouldn't consider it critical. Spell Triad would be, there's no spell defense it can't penetrate. No saving throw, spell resistance doesn't matter. I don't think this is a good spell, but I wouldn't choose this. They aren't that powerful spellcasters we have to face in the entire game. They just basically not gonna be an issue. So actually I would skip this. That would leave us Chain Contingency, Gate, Time Stop, and Wail of the Banshee, and we should get them all. So it's more of a question which is the order you want to get them in. Gate will probably not be our first choice because we still want the experience very, very much. So Chain Contingency, I don't think so, not a first option. So Time Stop or Wail of the Banshee. I would go with the Wail of the Banshee, I think. It has a long casting time too. But at the culmination of this dreadful spell, the wizard screams like a banshee. Everyone in the area of effect hears the awful cry. Those who fail a save versus death die instantly. The caster and companions are immune to the effects of the wail. So in the 30 feet radius, everyone basically dies, potentially. It's about as good of a your corner, your opponents are living creatures. Cast a spell if you have the casting time. Everyone can potentially die there instantly. If you have companions that are fighting for you, they don't give a shit. So I think we'll start with this. Probably take the contingency next, then go with time stop or gate. We are pretty much the maximum distance away from the level up. 300,000. Next would be an interesting one. We get to fill out things again. I think more or less around 20 we have most of our spells we're gonna ever have. I'm going to kill him without alerting the others.
The battle is joined. 180,000. So we're 100,000 away from another level up. We want to rest. Next is just killing all the frost giants. I'm making sure the slaves escape successfully. Ready? Understood. Potentis.
24-hour mind blast. So go pick up a big fight. There's a surprising amount of defenses you can get even with a mage, although cleric should be the one who gets the best of it. I think cleric gets like the immunity to projectiles, magic or otherwise, just immediately destroyed when they hit it. Immunity to everything through a shield of lavender. Harm reduces enemies to a single hit point. I think that's more better with if you're a multi-classing character. Still, powerful abilities. Mages, I mean, clerics might have bigger problems dealing with large groups of enemies though. $180,000 by picking a fight with him. Jesus fucking Christ. They're just throwing experience at you. Level 8. Um, I'll take the spell trigger because I don't recall at all what we have here, and I do want to take the higher level triggers. I'm not seeing anything particularly vital. Interesting things, sure, but nothing vital. We'll probably take the Summon Fiend next. But triggers I can use now. Fiend, not so much. And ninth level spell. Here we have a plan for this sequencer, I think. Demon would probably be after that. Chain contingency. Right, now we have at least 3 contingency spells. We should be able to store a massive amount of spells. Come on, people. I seem to recall the game didn't handle these large creatures well at all in serious numbers. I mean, worse than the normal size creatures. So I'm not sure how many creatures we want to lure in one place. It's also going to be hard to place in a way where we can just attack them and they're not going to cause me too much trouble. Yeah, the game is starting to sort of tick up already. I'm not sure we should lure anymore. Not sure if we have a choice though. I can't go back. I'm going to the slave pen. Yeah, stop. Yeah, it just fucking stops for a fraction of a second constantly. This is not good. I don't intend to go the incendiary club this time. I just want to keep them there. I think they're sort of stuck there already. Well, the Banshee. Well, no reason not to cast it. Everyone made their saves, I think. No, someone died. Don't see who. I think I'll just add more fire here. More fire. Yeah, I don't think we got the king. Still we got enough. And it seems to pulse. It doesn't continually do damage, so you can move past it without taking damage yourself. Interesting. I haven't killed the king because the winter wolves are not hostile. You're all there. I think Yoril is not in the affected area. It's not too big of a problem. Mission objective complete. Still need to kill the wolves. $200,000 for a level. Alright. Summoned creature is probably the best to handle it. There's quite a lot of the little wolf. We'll just let the spiders basically overrun them. The game still seems to sort of stop every fraction of a second when a lot of these creatures are moving. I don't get why there shouldn't be any. I think it's the place then more than anything. It doesn't have to be a huge amount of creatures moving and it starts to have a little bit of a hiccup.
What would you have of me? Understood.
Could be a lot of background things going on. Like, I don't really see what they're fighting about. But there's 2 guards and half a dozen hasted spiders fighting, so it affects what's happening here. Could be the logging thing too. It keeps away everything. keeps aware of everything. Also, the automated looting system could also be a factor. I don't know. But I seem to recall this doing the same thing with the normal playthrough on this area. I thought it was because of how I played it, sort of tried to get every last thing to aggro me, like I did here. But I don't think that's necessarily... Naturally that's the reason, but it seems to be having a bigger effect in this area than it does anywhere else. Ooh, that's a good one. Potion magic shielding. A lot of resistance has duration of 3 turns. Saving throws made automatically, that's a big thing. You're basically immune to a lot of effects because they always allow it for a saving throw. I think they won against the spiders. Spiders seem to have a lot of trouble hitting anything. Immunity to light. Yeah, I think I'll head back to not necessarily Koldahar, although that might be a correct place to go to. I need to basically sell a lot of my crap. There is a button though that the back of holding too, so it won't take everything. And I've been stuffing there a lot of stuff there for a long time. I need to empty it, or at least empty it a little bit. There might be new things for sale too in Koldahar. I never have been in Koldahar after the point where I returned the Mythal book to the Auric the Grey, so I don't know if they get any new stuff. Hello, my friend.
Anytime.
Don't think there's anything I can do here anymore. 100,000 to be level 20. Sounds like a lot, but it's not that much anymore at this point. Although I seem to recall we sort of go back and forth on this. Current enemies are around 5,000 experience points, 7,000 experience points, and I think it goes down when we get to the expansion, for example.
I shall not fail.
What's waiting for us if we go down? I don't recall exactly. There are shopping opportunities, well, and things like that. Um,
Leaving the horror.
him. The impossible to kill son of a bitch. In order for us to do any kind of serious business here, I think we need to help the deep gnomes adventure a little bit.
I shall not fail. I see.
We have to at the very least rest before doing any of that. So what I think I'll do is I'll do the management thing in Kogahar. We could go to Severed Hand, but I don't want to until I actually have the capability of restoring
It
the
will be
garden
done.
there. We really should have no reason to come back to Kogahar anymore. That's something to keep in mind. Which means I'm not sure at what point should we theoretically see any kind of an improvement on the equipment in Oryx Tower. Maybe it simply won't happen.
It will be done.
I don't care about the money anymore, so there are better ways to sell these if money is what you're looking for. But I hardly care. Just need to get rid of them. At the same time, I don't know if money is totally worthless, so I don't want to throw them away or not loot them either. Poisonous battle axe. Holy shit. 25% chance that his target is poisoned. 1 damage every 4 seconds for 100 seconds. That's a catastrophe for a spellcaster, because it's so easy to interrupt. I don't know what decides are you interrupted or not, but it just seems very easy to do with certain guys. Maybe their attributes are shit, I don't know, maybe it's constitution related, but I get interrupted very easily. It doesn't even really have to do much damage, it's just that you get hit by something and you're interrupted. You could use a dagger, but this is no good. Forgot this guy deals with armored weapons only. I wish I could basically pay him to have my entire inventory checked, just to speed things up. Breath of Oral, +3. Cold resistance 100%, but this is a cursed item, so I probably wouldn't want to use it even if I could want to get that effect at some point. It's just a pain in the ass to handle cursed items. Well, money is certainly not going to be an option, an obstacle at this point. What do we have? We have 250,000. I don't think I can identify the rest with this guy. Might be able to sell stuff to him though. Mage Dagger. Can cast 1 extra first, second and third level wizard spell. Fire resistance 20%. Honestly it's better than this. I'm not using the special abilities. They're not bad, I'm just not using them. So yeah, extra casting. Take it, thanks. Wait. Venom Dagger. think I'll keep the summoner staff though. It's a higher magic item and it does have the great abilities. So in a desperate situation those abilities could be the
I shall
difference
be swift
between
about it.
victory and a loss.
Anytime.
Anything new? We could buy more elixirs of health, more fire resistance potions certainly. Elixirs are not bad and they do heal up poison effects too. I do recall having unidentified potions, right. Don't think they're anything special though. Removes fatigue.
I shall be swift about
So
it.
we can be fire immune on demand at the moment. And Incendiary Cloud, how it can be used means it's actually fairly easy to use it without having any kind of fire resistance at all.
I shall be swift about it. I see. Understood.
I don't think that this guy has anything for sale that we would be interested in. Might be able to identify some of our items. I have to go back to the crazy airship owner for the identification of the potion. Unusable items can be sold off right away. Cloak protection. Actually, I don't know what do we have. +2 saving throws and armor class. Saving throws +1. So slightly better. Scrap of defense. Save versus petrification and polymorph. Not useful. Cursed gauntlets. Can cast double the number of first and second level wizard spells. All cold damage inflicted by the character is increased by 15%. Okay, well that's not bad. Same, we already have a protection. I'll keep the ring though. If I want to change out the cloak, I can use the ring. Or if I get another ring, I can use the cloak again. I don't recall who identifies what here, so I'll try to identify these two. Can't use lower deck, not going to use. Right. Go away, and go away. Doubles the
I shall be swift
amount,
about
and
it.
we already have bonuses to the amount. Natural number of casting on first and second level would be 6, so am I going to get 12 first and second level spells? Because that
Anytime.
would be amazing.
I see.
Who the fuck identifies armor? I guess that's Mage Robe is technically an armor, so the Smith is the only one who can identify it. Oh, detect invisibility, I'll take that. Detect illusion. I think this just dispels a lot of invisibility effects, but I don't think this affects thieves that are hiding. I'll take it anyway. Be useful. Multi-spell magic could also work, I suppose. It looks like we have a new set of spells we can use. Or is it an old one? Protection from electricity, I'll take it. Protection from acid, I'll take it. Fire shields can also protect you from elemental effects. Protection from cold, fire. Ooh. Mantle of Hell's Furnace. Has some effects. You can charm elementals, fire elementals, couple of fire spells. Same. Ooh, Ogiluk's Great Robe. Strength, Constitution, and Armor class. Interesting. The armor class would be the only. Oh, Constitution could actually help quite a bit. I don't know what the effect would be. I can afford to buy the thing though, so I think I will. Hopefully we are not gonna use these scrolls, but I'd like to have them just in case. You never know. I'll certainly buy the blue robe just in case. Vocalize we already have, but could have extra ones. Glitter dust reveals invisible things, and then the elemental protections. I don't care about the Minder Sequencer. It would allow us to cast few low-level spells rapidly. Although there's no harm in having it. Even from a scroll, I think we could effectively use it. Just couldn't replenish it. What does this do? Armor class 4 magic resistance. Armor class 4 constitution and strength. What I want is hit point amount. Is it gonna affect those? No. So it's not as good. I think you have to be a fighter basically for the high constitution values to really be a thing that increases your hit points.
Understood.
With a lot of other classes, it's capped at a lower level. So even if you're a mage with a extra high 20 something plus constitution, it's not gonna do you any good. A fighter on the other hand might get limited regeneration from that. So a fighter mage would actually get most out of that. Fighter mage dwarf maybe. Because dwarf would get constitution I think 19 at the start, so constitution 21 at least. And I think that's the point where you start getting regeneration. It's 20 or 21. It's not gonna be the one that sees you regeneration, allows you to survive fights, but you could just rest for a little short duration and you could probably be at full health. Evil Archmage. Not interested, this is just shit.
I shall be swift about it.
Less magic resistance, less armor class, saving throw bonus +1, but that's not exactly all that impressive.
It will be done.
We rely on immunities quite a bit, not the +1 saving throws. Potion of Life Transference. -1 Constitution permanent, +1 Strength permanent. I'll keep hold on to that. I have no interest in it. It could be useful in the sense that I doubt we would lose hit points out of that, and our strength could go to 19. So in that sense, it could be very beneficial. Either way, we're done. I suppose it did a lot of good. We don't really have to give a shit about spending money anymore. Like we did before. Right, I've never been all that caring about spending money. So it didn't make all that much of a difference. At the same time, I don't have to worry about running out of space, so I guess that's the most important difference.
I shall be swift about it.
Yeah, this is more or less where I wanted to end up in. Need to rest. So how many castings do I have? 14 first level and second level castings. 7 on the third and then 6 until we reach the high levels. Yeah, on the 8th level we still have 6, 9th has 4. We have 3, oh, we have 4 sequencers. Let's start this sequencer shit. You. And 6th level is the maximum. I don't want an attack spell to be a trigger here. It seems to be very risky, to say the least. Maybe minor group of invulnerability. I don't really use that all that often, so suddenly triggering that as extra defense wouldn't certainly harm us. At the same time, I'm not sure if it would be super good or useful. I think the stone skin makes the most sense. The condition probably hit points at 50%. So if you just get harmed a little bit, it's not gonna do anything. But if your defenses start to play a little function as a backup. What then? What is this? Spell sequencer. Several spells in a sequencer that can be released upon any target, including the caster. So this is something that we basically click and then target where we want it to hit. 4th level spell seems to be the maximum. We could do Mordecai's missiles too. Interesting. A lot of we probably would want something that basically plays someone out of the fight. That might be the most useful thing to use. I'm not sure if area of effect is what we want. And 3rd level spells can be protected against quite easily, so maybe the 4th would be the best. Mordecai's force missiles. They're not that powerful still, but I think at level 20 we're talking about 4 missiles. Maximum is 25, so it'd be 5 probably at 19, 6 at 22. That's still a lot of missiles we can basically burst at something. It's magic damage, so it's pretty much impossible to resist. Yeah, we can always do other ones, test things out. Biggest problem might be to remember what our sequencers do. Direct damage though, so I guess that's easy to remember. Spell trigger. I think this is just basically the same thing, but with higher level spells. This is good if we want to lower their magic resistance and start casting shit at the same time. We could put some area of effect junk here. Although low resistance wouldn't be bad because we are going to an area where there are dark elves. I'm more or less thinking about some of the opponents we're gonna face already, and one of them will be a mage. We need to get the magic to stick to it. So a couple of resistance lowers might not be a bad thing. But there's also iron golems, so those would be good to be able to play out of the pike too. Low resistance, maybe some fire damage to top it off. I think 2 will basically reduce their magic resistance to practically 0 anyway. These are not things I want to trigger continuously, so I don't have to basically recast them. Right. Up to 8th level this time. Maybe hit points at 50%. We already have the stone skin at that point, so protection from magical weapons. Cloak of invulnerability. Maybe mirror images. So basically restore all our defenses if we drop at half health. Get some magical defenses going up. We also take attack spells nearest enemy when you see enemies. Or when you get hit by last, so instant death abilities on that target maybe. It has a lot of potential. We are missing a spell absorption effect of some sort. There's no way we can absorb anything. So our spell defenses are currently from level 3 spells and lower. Anything above that and it'll come straight through. And I don't like that. Don't like that at all. I'll cast the Mind Blank now. It'll last for 24 hours, so it'll last over this. Right. All the triggers, contingencies, and Mind Shield. 100,000 XP from a level up. Should be fairly easy to get. I'll leave things here. In light of the triggers and sequencers, I need to rethink what I'm going to take. We still should get new level spells. This is mainly where the levels above 20 will help us. We get to flesh out at least one extra spell in a lot of these levels. Maybe 2 on this. I think I would basically build things at boss monsters and things like that in mind at this point. So basically look at what we are, as far as attack spells are concerned, we are only lacking single target instant death spells. Otherwise we're okay no matter what the enemy game throws our way. We're lacking something to absorb spells. We just don't have anything. And it can be fairly high level as long as it's not level 9 because of our great amount of sequencers and spell triggers. I would prefer it to be lower though. There are a lot of good spells on most of these levels. Right. Have to keep that in mind.